I guess you could say this is a video log.
Earlier on today, I went to work with my dad. The guy we were working with was like, you definitely take after your old man. And my dad went, why? Because he's awkward. Which, funnily enough, made me feel quite awkward. So, before anything else, let's get the serious business out of the way. It's a joke, because... never mind. I went to Germany about 2 weeks ago. With Ildiko, my friend and one of my former lecturers, and a guy called Tom, who is a filmmaker. If you see any flesh at any point, just close your eyes, look away. I went to Germany because Ildiko is part of a theatre company with her friend Rosie. I'm really self-conscious about this. Why did I choose to do this? They were retracing the steps that Ildiko's grandma took when she was exiled from Poland in World War II. And unfortunately, Rosie couldn't do all 3 weeks of walking, so I joined and did the last 2 weeks and made some videos for them and stuff. Just went into the bathroom of this hotel. I went to turn the light on to have a shower. What? What? So we walked approximately 350 kilometres for the whole journey, and there are only 40,000 kilometres if you went all around the circumference of the world in a completely straight line. And like, to me, that feels like simultaneously huge and tiny. It feels like I made a real dent on the earth. I left my own tattoo, if you will. Each of my steps carved a drawing in the earth. You could tell I know I'm being a wanker. That's why I did the weird position and the funny voice. I was filming upstairs in my room and the camera started steaming up. Initially, I made a joke about how, I'm too hot to handle, but I think it's just because the radiator's on. I was thinking of having the fridge open for when this shot came in for a bit of a comedic element to it. But we only have one planet, and I am goals as fuck.
This walk's going to be a piece of Victoria sponge and or chocolate cake.
Those of us that can walk, we fully take it for granted. You know, it's this unconscious thing that we just do. It's not something that occupies our mind too much. It's almost like we're on autopilot. We just walk, we just do it. But there's a certain point where it starts to get quite hard. When you're doing 20 miles and 30 degrees, it's not a walk in the park. Although sometimes it quite literally was. There was this one day, we'd gotten to a point that in my head I'd said, right, that's the final point. Once we get there, you know, that's it. I'm done for the day. And it was a really hot day, really intense walk. And we got there, got to this place, and I was like, so, where's the hotel? Hotel? We've got another half an hour, mate. Don't know what you're talking about. Did the half an hour, but obviously it wasn't the easiest thing in the world because I checked out at this point. Card had gone through the machine. I was on the drive home. I was ready to fire up the oven for dinner. That was a very convoluted analogy there, but I think you got my point. I really had to will myself to keep going, but I did it. I powered through, and I collapsed in the grass, and I was rolling around, and it was this poetic scene almost. Flailing my arms. I was Kate Bushing. That's what I was doing. I was Kate Bushing in the bushes. We checked Google Maps to find the hotel. Turns out it was another 8-minute walk away. When your body feels like it's completely done, you can set yourself a goal and you can still achieve something by looking at the end point. And I know there's a lot to be said for living in the moment and really appreciating everything that's around you. But there's also something very important about setting yourself a goal and the power that can achieve.
So I've got this book that I haven't really had much of a chance to read called The Lost Art of Walking. And what I've realised after walking 20 miles in a day is that they didn't lose it. They just threw it away. They just binned it. Don't want any of this. Chucking it out. Don't need it. I've been soaking my feet in cold water for 20 minutes.
The thing about experiences like this, and the thing about filming things like this, is that I was really focused on filming things that looked nice. I wanted it to be aesthetically pleasing. I wanted it to be pretty, you know. I wanted to find nice music that would complement it well. I wanted the shots to be well composed and stuff like that. I wanted you to be there with me, experiencing it with me, and have this real visceral feeling like I'm there, I can experience it, I'm feeling it. But I only filmed the pretty stuff. I didn't film the pain, I didn't film the blisters, I didn't film the crying, I didn't film my first margarita, actually. And side note, why did nobody tell me that it's a salt rim on a margarita? I thought it was sugar. I went to town on that salty rim. Thinking about it, I did film some pain because I filmed myself trying to climb a tree, and within about 5 seconds I'd hit my head.
I think I might climb a tree whilst we're in this beer garden.
Headshot.
What I want to know is, whatever happened to Katie Tunstall? Where are you, Katie? Where are you?
Met one of Ildeco's old school friends, Uli. I was talking to her about being in love and how it's such a powerful and transitional thing in your life to feel. When you're in love, it takes over your entire life and you love. You know, you put everything into it. You put your heart, your soul, everything you do, everything that happens to you, it's somewhere in your mind. Somewhere in your mind is that love that you have, the fact that you're in love with someone, and you think about them constantly. And I said, like, I felt this before. For me, it was a very transitional thing. Like, I went through it got messy towards the end, it ended, and I had to transition my way through to being without that. And I said to her, like, I'm scared that I'm never going to find that again, to be honest. There's a cold hard fact. And she said that every single time you love someone, you create a new category of love. You will never love someone in the same way that you loved your first ever love. But you will love someone just as much, just as passionately, and just as intensely, but in a different way, in a different category. How nice is that? Different genres, different flavours. We met so many people as we went through, and people were so friendly. People were saying hello to us all the time. People were asking us about the project. People let us into their homes to fill up our water bottles, use the toilet, stuff like that. And it made me think about this analogy. And I've talked about this before. I talked about this on the Small YouTubers panel. There's this video by this girl called Sadie. She's called Defense 360 on YouTube. She talks about this analogy of being in the human boat, and you can't escape that. Everyone's in it. I'm in it. You're in it. Tom Hardy's in it. Yeah? I'm in the same boat as Tom Hardy. So, I'm in the same boat as your mum. That got weird. There are some people who are so accepting of everyone else who's in that human boat with them. I'm actually getting a bit emotional right now. That's not good. Not gonna cry. Just felt my heart kind of go. There were so many people we met that were so compassionate and friendly and willing to help and just so open. There was a point where I was very pissed off, and I thought about something that my dad always used to say to me. Why waste your time worrying about something when you can't do anything about it? If you can't change anything in this situation that you're worrying about, it's really difficult to do, but try to worry about it less. That doesn't necessarily mean force yourself to be happy, because obviously you're allowed to feel how you're feeling. I indulged myself, I let myself be pissed off, but I also thought, let's just, you know, go with the flow here, roll with the punches. I want to take that human boat analogy and force another one inside of it and say that my little boat, my personal boat, I've set the destination to be happiness. I know, I sound ridiculous right now. If you can't change a situation, try not to worry about it. Don't try and force yourself to be happy. But for me, I've just set happiness as the destination and hope that I kind of current drags me through to there. So I want current to just, I'm on my way.
How poetic.